It is Thursday night and this is the first run I've done this week, but has started by leaving my front door, so I've been mixing it up a little bit this week. So we'll go into a bit of a recap of how this week has panned out. So going into this week, one thing to note was that I did my long run on a Saturday on the previous week, so I've gone in feeling a little bit fresher with just doing an easy run on the Sunday. So I ran on Monday night, did a 7-ish mile loop with Robbie from his, so good little session catching up with Robbie with his new PB of mid-34 from the 10k. I was in the office on Tuesday, so I spoiled myself with a run on the Cloud Trail for my session on Tuesday night, so this was a brilliant session, best one I've done in a while really. So I did a simple 4 by a mile and I had around 90 seconds off just a really slow jog recovery, and some of these were a little bit longer, so getting up for about 2 minutes on some of them. So it was a really positive session. I told myself going in that I'm going to have some intent and try and hit the low 6-minute miles on the mile reps. So that's really pushing me into faster than my 5k pace at the moment, so it's a good sighter to aim at. First rep was exactly that, low 6, it's about 6:03. The second rep did slow slightly to about 6:10, and then the last two had a turnaround point a little bit longer between these reps, so heading back up the Cloud Trail up a slight incline were high 6:10s, so for about 6:15 to 6:20 those two reps. So I averaged out at just over 6:10 for these reps. It's really positive to get moving a bit quicker on a bit longer reps. So I don't usually do reps that are as long as a mile in my short speed interval sessions. I then did a steady run on Wednesday night, so this was at Elverston with Sam. This was, ideally I'd like to do sort of a recovery, very light day between sessions, but with this just being a bit of a shorter run, just 6 miles, the steady pace of it I don't think has took too much out of my legs. I still feel okay today. So today what my session is I've already hit the sort of longer endurance part of the intervals with the mile reps this week. What I want to do is work at the opposite end of that spectrum, so I'm going to be doing 400 reps tonight. So I'm going to do 400 reps and I'm having 60 seconds static recovery. So we'll see how this goes. It's going to be the same volume as my session on Tuesday night, but I'm going to be hitting more intensity, so I'm going to look at getting under that 6-minute mile pace as a minimum for all of my reps if I can do. So I've got to be completing these 400s in less than 90 seconds. So I'm going to get rolling into rep number 1. Off we go. So that's rep 2 done, both about 125 those reps, so just nudging under that 6-minute mile pace. So that's 4 reps done now, 1 mile at the 4 done, quarter of the way through the session, so that felt pretty good. It was nice to be moving under 6-minute miles pace. I've been around 85, 86 for those reps, so good start. Let's see if I can hold this for the rest of the session. Halfway through the session now, so 8 done, and they're all hanging around that 85 to 90 for the reps, so really pleased with that. Try and keep it up for the second half of the session. That's 10 down now, 6 to go, so pace is still there. Let's keep it strong for these last 6 reps. That's 14 down now and 2 to go. So I really feel like I've got in a good rhythm now. Now is the time to step it up in those last 2 reps. So I try and hit close to those low 80s if I can. So I've took around a 45-minute drive this morning up towards near Mansfield to do the Brierley Forest parkrun. So hoping it's fairly flat. It looks like there's some decent trails here, and it looks similar to my local at Conkers really. And everyone's wearing red because I think it's like the 9th birthday, something along those lines. So it's a finished tunnel of red balloons. I've got my red top on, I've got some red socks, and I've also got a red dog just coming up here. Parkrun finished in a time of 19:52, which was the first time on a sort of course that's not a long eaten or not a fast 5k that I've done under 20 minutes this year. And it's certainly the first time I've been under 20 minutes in the past couple of months, so it's a big step in the right direction for my training. Proves that doing these sessions, stepping into a little bit more training is paying off, and a step in that right direction. So getting that 19:52, I can work my way down now into below 19 minutes as the weeks go on, as I train for the next steps of Valencia Marathon. So in total, my week looked like 50 miles of running, which is the highest mileage I've done for, again, quite a few months. Probably the last time I was running under 20 minutes for parkrun. So that is proof that the mileage is key really. If I drop the mileage, I'm not going to be running as fast, and if I drop the sessions, I'm not going to be running as fast either. So 50 miles this week. I've done a couple of bike rides to get 40 miles, about 2 hours, 2.5 hours on the bike. I've also done a short swim this week of 30 minutes, so keeping up that cross training to supplement my mileage. So I rounded off my week with a 15-mile long run this week. This is again the biggest long run I've done in quite some time too. So I've had biggest mileage, biggest long run, and my fastest 5k. So it's been a really positive week as I do step up that mileage. It's 12 weeks now until Valencia Marathon, which I'm going to try and get to as close to 20 miles as I can in the next few weeks, trying to keep pushing up that mileage and hold it around the 20-mile mark to give me the best chance of getting that sub-3 marathon at Valencia. I think now that I've taken enough time to ease back in after the niggles and the injuries, I've loaded up my mileage and the sessions very carefully, and now's the time to really get focused into that training block. So I'm going to be doing something a little bit more structured, make that time in the day for my key sessions, my key long runs, make sure that I'm getting everything I need within my running week to give me the best chance of going well at Valencia. Thank you for watching. If you did enjoy the video, give it a like, think about subscribing to the channel for free running content every week, and I'll see you in the next video.